can't you just handle me with care? Why can't you just do that? Your family is a human being, sweetheart, because I handle you with care. Your family is human. Humans mess up and humans make mistakes. Like, you could never hang out with them because they all they want to do is be up underneath their man. As y'all can see, I got problems. Am I the drama? Well, I don't want to be a y'all to fix my life anymore. I don't want to do that. Hey girl, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sha'Kenya, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about 6 things that I learned in therapy. So when I say 6 things I learned in therapy, it's not just like things that I learned is about myself. It's just like how I should handle other people and just being considerate and holding myself accountable. So if you think this is a video that you would like to see, then make sure to stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications, and give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Whew. So I was just sitting down, right? I'm like trying to think of some content for Vlogtober, well, 7 days of Vlogtober, and I'm like, this is something that I really want to talk about. So here we are. I'm gonna be as vulnerable as I can, as real as I can, as honest as I can, and just, I want to say put it all out there because I'm not gonna put everything out there, but it's just a lot. Let's get right to it. I'm gonna be doing my makeup while I'm talking about these topics. So this is 6 things that I have learned in therapy. The first thing that I learned in therapy, not the first thing, but the first thing that I'm gonna talk about is being happy with what I have and not focusing on what I don't have, right? And I know like this is like something that's probably very cliche that I know I've spoken about before, practicing gratitude, and that I now practice gratitude more than I have ever practiced gratitude. But I do have my days where I'm just like, dang, like this is not exactly what I want. This is not how I want it to be. And my therapist has just encouraged me to just always look at, don't look at the glass half empty. I guess that's the way I could say it, because it's just like, yeah, it might not be what you want, but what if you didn't have it at all? You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to touch on something like, not, I don't want to go too deep into it, but I'm just going to talk about something that I was talking to my therapist, because when I had first mentioned it to her, she thought maybe like I was comparing my life to others. And I'm here to tell you that if it's one thing that I don't do is compare my life to others. Like, I do not. Like, that's just something that I'm grateful that I don't do. Let me see. Sometimes I could say like, I could see like other content creators and be like, oh, you know, I can't wait until I'm there, or I need to let me see, I need to stop thinking so much so that I can get to where they are or get past them, because my intentions is never to look at somebody and be like, I want to be like them. It's always to surpass, like, because I don't want nobody to look at me and be like, oh, I want to be like her. No, be better than me. Do more if you can. Like, don't let me stop. You never know. The sky's the limit. You get what I'm saying? Not in the sense of like, I just got to be better than them because I want to say I'm better than them. Not like that. But like, I just don't look at other people's lives. But it's not, no, what I want to say is that it's not that I don't look at other people's lives. I just don't look at other people's lives that's like in my vicinity. Like, if I can reach them, I'm not looking at your life, because to me it's just like, I don't know, anybody that's in my range, like, I just feel like I'm not really impressed. I was talking about Instagram, right? I'm talking about social media, and I was telling my therapist how like there was no one like on my old Instagram that I wanted to be like. There was nobody's life that I looked at and I was like, oh, their life is so great and I just wish I had what they had. My problem is that I look at rich people and I'm just like, oh, I should be doing more. I'm talking about business owners, entrepreneurs. Like, I look at them and I'm like, wow, they're doing so much. I gotta do better. I gotta do more. And it had gotten to the point where I just started to like feel like I wasn't doing anything. And it's like, they had to do a lot of work to get there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like I started beating myself up because I feel like, oh no, they're doing so much. And I think too, because I look up to a lot of like entrepreneurs and like women, because I'm like, wow, like I just love bossy women. Like I just love women who are independent, who do their own thing. And it doesn't mean that you don't have a man or anything when I'm saying independent. I just mean like you just got your own, and like you can make room in spaces for other women, black women or women in general or whoever. And it's not even just women, it's men too. Like I look at men, like people, a lot of people, like my friends will joke or whatever with me, like some of them, and be like say stuff to me about like listening to rap music all the time and stuff like that. But rap music really motivates me. Like Meek Mill, like he's super duper motivating, because it's like you see where he came from, you see how his circumstances, and to be real, like I just don't understand how people don't even like him, because I'm just like, bro, like he literally comes from where we come from. Like he wasn't raised with a gold spoon in his mouth. Like he made it out, literally out the mud. And maybe too, because I come from a place where everything is just about fronting. Like most of the time it's just like, oh, everything's about an image. And I don't really, like, I'm just not a girl or a woman. I'm just not a woman who's impressed by like images. Like stuff looks nice, and I used to be impressed by looks until I would really get to know the person, and then I'm like, you're a liar. And I just feel like just be you, and just like what I do understand though is that, and I don't think a lot of people understand this, like y'all, like we can really look online and see somebody and make up what we want to make up about them. Like just because you see someone doesn't mean that their life is all together and it's perfect. Like just because you look at you might look at my pictures or look at my story on Instagram and be like, oh, see, this brow came out really good, and be like, oh, she's able to do this and she has this and this and that, but you don't know my life. Like that's just because that's what I share. But I also don't put it out there and make it seem like my life is perfect. I don't talk about my life on Instagram and say, oh, this is perfect, this is great. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't do that. So I just feel like people have to definitely be more aware of that, because like don't get mad at somebody and say like, oh, well, they portrayed this. They ain't portraying nothing. You're assuming. Like you're literally assuming. But anyway, back to what I was talking about, is just that like I get my motivation from like people who are out of reach, because I just feel like I don't have anybody to look at and be like, oh wow, you inspire me, you motivate me. That's in reach. That's within reach, that I could be like, oh, take me under the wing, like let me learn from you, I want to grow and this and that. Like nobody in my community, like there's literally no one. So it's just like, I don't know, it's just a thing that I fight with sometimes, because I look at other people that have more than me, but that are celebrities, and I'm just like, oh, I should be doing more. Not that I want their life, but I just feel like I should be doing more, and it makes me feel like I'm not doing enough. So my therapist just had that talk with me, and she's just like, girl, like, not recently, this was like, no, it was recently, it was like a few months ago, but I was just like, yeah, like I just look and I just be like, wow, like I gotta do more, I'm not doing enough. And she's like, you are doing enough, like you're doing exactly what you should be doing, you're doing the best that you can do with your circumstances. Like it's like, what else can you really do right now? So I'm just like, you know what, you're right, girl, you're right. But I just know that I have to focus more on just being grateful for what I have. Like you gotta focus on what you have right here in front of you. Like you really gotta focus on that. You really have to. I just gotta be grateful for what I have and continue to work on what I want. Don't watch nobody else, whether they're a peer, like whether they're in reach or not in reach. Like just worry about me. Worry about me, but also be grateful for what I have. Don't say, oh, you don't have this and that, because I could have nothing. I could literally have nothing. So yeah, that's that on that. The second thing is not focusing on negative things that a person has done, right? So like I'll have a habit of like, I'll talk to my therapist and I'll be like, oh, but this person did this and they did that and they did this and they did that, and she'll be like, okay, but what about the good things? Like, did they do anything good? And I'll be like, yeah. She'll be like, okay, so focus on that then. Like, don't focus on the bad things or the things that you're not happy that they've done, because that you're not happy about that they've already done. Because if you focus on that stuff, then you'll never be happy for what they're able to do now for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, And it's not like actually physically doing something, but just like them. When I say physically doing something, I mean like not like buying me stuff or something like that. I'm talking about like just being there for me, or trying their hardest to be better as a person. Like, and this is family, friends, whoever. Like, so it's just like, yeah, don't focus on what they did to upset you or that made you feel bad, or, you know, like, or hurt you before. Move on, forgive them, and focus on what they're doing now if they're trying to be better. You know what I'm saying? She's not telling me like to be like delusional. Like, if they're not trying to do better, show me like, oh yeah, just sit around and just be like, yeah, no, make an excuse for them. No. If the person is trying to do better though, why keep on bringing things up? Why keep holding it over their head? And it's like, that's something that I'm gonna talk about at the end of the video, because I still have work that I need to do. But like, holding a grudge, it's like, that's what it is. Like, don't hold grudges. Like, you gotta just focus on what the person is doing now, how they're behaving. Because if they're trying to be better, then why keep on holding them down? Like, oh no, like, oh no, you just did this to me. Oh, but remember that time you did that. Because y'all not gonna get nowhere. Like, y'all not gonna get anywhere. And the only person that really tears up really bad is you. And I'm speaking on myself. It's just me. So you know what I'm saying? Because that person done did what they did, honey, and moved on. They're not thinking about that. Like, they're not losing sleep. Meanwhile, it's constantly on my brain. Like, oh, why would they do this? And why would they do that? And also, oh, to add to that, just thinking like, okay, so Amir's dad told me, like, stop talking about like what somebody did to you. Like, stop doing that. Like, stop. Everything is not, oh, what they do to me, what they do to me. And I get what he's saying, but at the same time, I don't. Because I'm like, but why would you do that? Because I just don't understand sometimes why people handle things the way they handle it. I'm just like, why can't you just handle me with care? Why can't you just do that? Because I handle you with care. I mean, don't get me wrong. And sometimes I can have an aggressive demeanor. Like, and when I mean like, not like I want to fight you, but like, when I can be harsh sometimes when I'm talking, and I try my hardest. I have been trying actually for years, and if you ask me, I think that I've done a really good job. I think that I've definitely made progress in that area. But when I get frustrated because I'm like constantly repeating myself to a person, then that's when like all of the nice stuff, like the sweetness, the patience, a lot of the patience just goes out the window, because I'm like, I'm tired of talking to you type thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot. But it's just like, I do be feeling like, you know, like, oh, well, why would this person do this to me? And he's just like, and it's not that I want to be a victim, but I'm literally just trying to figure out, why would you do that? Because I just don't get it. But that also comes with setting boundaries. But at the same time, right, which I'm gonna get into that too, but at the same time, if you don't have expectations, then you won't be disappointed. You just have to take people for who they are. If you already know how someone is, like, you just be like, okay, well, this is how they are, and that's just that. Like, don't look for anything else, because if you looking for something else and they don't give you what you're looking for, you're gonna be disappointed, right? So that's why you don't have expectations. You just see people for who they are. If it's not something that's too detrimental, then you can still deal with them. Whether it's family, friends, a relationship, and move on. Like, no reason to have expectations, because expectations lead to disappointment. You just have to meet people where they're at. The third thing I learned is dealing with people who I may have felt like mishandled me, which goes hand in hand with the last thing that I spoke about, like being, having expectations and stuff like that on a person when they're doing something, you feel like, well, why would they do that? But with this situation, it's more so like, think about what the other person is going through. Maybe that person is not a good communicator. Maybe they just don't know how you're going to react, so they just chose not to share something with you, or they just chose to handle you how they handle you because they just didn't know what to do, you know? Maybe they just have a lot on their plate and they're feeling overwhelmed, and it's just like, you know, they dropped the ball, unfortunately, because it happens. Like, people drop the ball, and I'm trying to, honestly, I could say that I give a lot of people grace now. I really do. And I feel like I did in the past, but I feel like in the past, I would give people grace stupidly. Like, I would just be like, oh, Like, you know how somebody could be so loyal to the point that they become stupid? That's how I felt. Like, I would just be like, oh, no, they just didn't mean that. Like, kind of in a way where, not that I actually let somebody take advantage of me, but it was just like, it was along those lines of, it could possibly happen because you just keep giving them too much grace. No, we're not doing that. But it's just like, you do have to be aware that people go through things. You know, like, they're going through things. We're all going through things. And to sit around and just be like, oh, this person mishandled me, and I don't like this and I don't like that, and just not think about what they could possibly be going through is very selfish. You know, like, that's why communication is very key, because if you communicate and you talk to the person, then you could possibly find out, you know, what was the reason for their actions. And sometimes you won't, but for the most part you will if you just talk to them. And that brings me into number 4. So number 4 is having high expectations for family members. But this also is going to go hand in hand with other people, but I want to speak on family members first, because I just feel like, why is it as people, like, we don't give family members grace? Like, why do we act like family members are some superheroes that can never do wrong? Like, and I'm talking about myself. Like, when it's come to just anybody in my life that's my family, my mother, my dad at times, like, sometimes, because my dad really just be chilling, like, honestly, but it's just like, people in your life, they gonna get on your nerves and they're gonna do things that you don't like. And it's just like, but why do we hold family members to this high standard like they're not human? Like, and it's not just me. I know y'all gotta, like, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, we'll be like, oh, my family is this and that, and my family shouldn't do this and that. Your family is a human being, sweetheart. Your family is human. Humans mess up and humans make mistakes. Just like you. We all fall short. And it's just like, I don't understand. I just don't get it. I'm like, why do we do that? Because I want to know. Do y'all know why y'all do that? Because it's just like, bruh, family members fall short. And then also, you have to communicate. How do you get mad at somebody for doing something to you, your family member, and you don't talk to them and tell them? I talk to my dad and my mom about that all the time. I'm like, how do y'all feel some type of way about something and y'all don't say nothing? How do you do that? Like, I don't get that. I just really don't understand. Like, I don't understand when people, like, when you don't talk to your parent because you just don't, because they're mad, they made you mad about something or they did something to you. When you don't talk to your sibling because they did something that you didn't like. When you don't even know, it could be miscommunication. Like, why do we hold family to this standard? Like, they can't do anything. Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. It's like, please. They are going through stuff too. And sometimes they don't know how to handle things either. I do get it, because people feel like, oh, it's blood, it's blood, it's blood. And blood shouldn't do this. And blood shouldn't do it. But blood do, because blood is still, your blood is still a human being. And that's what people need to realize. Like, cut it out already. Like, I'm so sick of the family narrative that family has to be perfect. And it's not like somebody's thinking I gotta be perfect. I'm talking about myself too, because I used to hold people to this standard. And I'm just like, bruh, they're a human being who've been through things, been through trauma, so probably some things that I don't even know about. And it's like, here I am talking about me. Miss Ma'am, like, are you gonna take accountability? Are you gonna try to understand where they're coming from? Are you gonna try to empathize with their circumstances and things that they've been through? Because you just don't know. And I just feel like it's really wild that we just really sit here and just be like, no, because family has to do this, and if family doesn't do this and that, then I don't want to be bothered with them, and I'm not talking to this person. And how do y'all go years and not talk to y'all siblings, bro? How do you go years? Like, I understand the thing. Like, I've had issues, you know, with my mom that I've spoken about briefly on here. And a lot of people do. People have mommy issues, people have daddy issues. But if you think I'm gonna sit up here and not talk to my mother without me saying something, like, I have to say something at least. Like, if if I said something and my mother is not doing what she need to do, oh, best believe I'm gonna love her from a distance. Best believe. But just to not ever tell her what she did to me and give her a chance to try to fix things, or anybody, my dad, anybody. it's like, how do you just cut people off like that and just be like, oh, I'm not talking to them because this and that, or I'm just not talking to them, but you don't never tell them what they did to you? How? You don't know what's going on with your parent. You don't know if your parent is sick. You don't know if they need help financially. You don't know what's going on because you're so busy holding a grudge. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's real crazy. It is. And it was me. I was holding a grudge with somebody. Oh, baby. And then life was lifing. And I found out something and I said, oh. And here it is. I'm thinking that this person is mad at me because they didn't like something, how I handled a situation with somebody else. Meanwhile, this person is not even doing well with their health. Yeah, no, never again. Never again. And that wasn't the only situation that happened. It's been plenty of other situations. But like I said, if you have to love people from a distance, I'm not saying don't love people from a distance if they're toxic and they're unhealthy for you. I'm not saying that. But to just cut people off in your family because they did something that you didn't like and you never even told them what they did, literally, it's a little cuckoo. It's a little strange. Like, how do you get upset? I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't. I really don't. I don't get that. And even with people, you can't cut people off and not tell them what they did. Like, how do you do that? You cannot do that, bro. And people be like, oh, well, they know what they did. No, some people do know what they did. Some people do. But it's just like, not everybody knows. Sometimes people just be like, nah, like, that's not what I meant. And you over here just taking stuff personal and saying that you ain't talking to them ever again and not calling them and none of these things. I don't understand. So we need to get that together because that's a no-no. Like, that needs to stop, and it needs to stop today. And before we move forward, I just want to be very clear that I'm not telling anybody to deal with toxicity, like, at all. Like, in a relationship, with friendships, in your family, even though I'm mainly right now talking about family. But just in general, I'm not telling anybody to deal with toxic relationships within your family, because you could have a toxic dad, you could have a toxic mom, you could have a toxic sibling. Absolutely, like, it's not unheard of. But I'm just saying, like, to cut someone off without explaining to them things that they've done to you to hurt you or to harm you, even if you feel like they may know, it just, to me, it's a little, like, it just doesn't make sense. And that's all I'm gonna say, because I've been that person before. I'm like, man, I'm just cutting them off, or they should know better. But what if they don't? Like, what if that's all that they know, because that's how their brain works, especially people who are older, because they be so stuck in their ways with how things were during their generation. And it's just like, please, you know, like, you gotta say stuff to people, because you cannot just, well, you could do whatever you want to do, but let me tell you something. When people are off this earth and you didn't get to tell them things, and they just holding back, or even if they're not holding back, like, but when people are no longer on this earth and you didn't get to tell them the things that you really felt and give them a chance to at least apologize or to fix it, you got to deal with that at the end of the day. And it's a real thing. You have to deal with that. You know, and I'm sure, I don't want to know, but I'm sure that that's the worst thing to do, to not tell somebody how you really felt about them. Because I don't have guilt about, like, not telling somebody how they really feel, but I do have guilt about, like, not spending time with somebody before they passed away, because all I was doing was working. Did I see that person? Yes, I did see her, but I wish that I don't have the guilt that I have is not even like, oh, it was just on her, because in general, I did not make time to see any of my family. And the person was not my blood family, but I knew her my whole life. I didn't get to, after once we grew up, like, I wasn't really around her that much, but the love was always there. I loved her dearly, which I'll talk about that another day. But I wish I would have spent more time with her and went to go see her more before she did pass away, because I would have loved to have more memories. But even pictures together, like, I don't even have any pictures of us together as adults. I'm sure there's pictures of us since when we were younger, which I don't even have. Maybe her mom has them, I don't know. But it's just like, I would have loved to spend more time with her, but I was too busy working. Everything was like work, work, work. And I'm not beating myself up about it totally, because it was like, well, who's gonna take care of me? But it just has to be a balance. And I know that, and as a matter of fact, I don't like to use the word balance, because I really honestly feel like balance is not real. But what I would say, you have to prioritize the things that are most important. And she was very important to me. It's just that at that age, I didn't really understand how much like it meant for me for myself to even prioritize spending time with her. But moving along, because I'm done with saying that, I just, you know, like, we all got things to work on, and that's just it. But the next thing I want to talk about is setting boundaries. Now, I don't know what was happening to me the other day, but the other day I was in here and I just got super duper emotional. I was just thinking a lot, and I'm gonna be very, very, very vulnerable right now, because I say like, oh well, I don't have any friends, right? And when I say it, it's not me discrediting the friends that I actually do have. When I say that, I mean, like, I don't have any of my old friends, like my friends from like teenage years. And it does bother me, and it didn't start to bother me until recent. Like, before, I just used to be like, whatever, like, you know, they just were not good people to me. That was that. Because one thing about me, I never question who I am as a friend. What I have come to realize, the older that I've gotten, is that I could have prioritized time more with people who were my friends. At the time, like, I didn't make time for people, and that's because I was always working. And that's just what it is. Like, it's no way for me to sugarcoat it or to dress it up and make it seem like that's not what it was. That's absolutely what it was. I mean, even one of my friends, we would even try to hang out, but when we would, I would literally work the day that we were hanging out, and then I would be like running late when we had to go out and stuff like that. Or I would cancel on her and be like, yeah, can we just reschedule because I'm tired because I took a client? And it's like, girl, why are you taking clients when you know that we about to go out on a date? Like, what? But I didn't know. I did not know any better. I need y'all to understand too, like, when I'm talking about this, I have seen my mother work really, really hard my whole entire life. And that's all I've seen. My mother to this day, I have to tell her, you have to make time. You have to make time. Because, honey, she don't make time. One thing about Nick, she gonna work. She gonna work, and she don't prioritize spending time with her family. And it's like, that's really important. But now I emphasize it to her because I know how important it is. But I didn't know that. I never saw my mother balance. My mother just worked, and whenever she could do things for me, which she was always able to financially, but whenever she made the time to do things with me, then she would. And if she didn't, then she didn't. I would be outside with my friends. I would be out late, out very, very late. Even sometimes she would be at work and I would be coming in the house. If she got home before me and it was late at night, I would tell her I went to go get something to eat, and she wouldn't even get upset, because she would be like, oh, okay, you just went to go get something to eat. Like, and I don't resent her at all for that, because she worked really hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was doing what she had to do. Was she a perfect parent? No, no one is. And it was other things that I didn't appreciate, or whatever the case is. But one thing I'm gonna say is that she showed me that working is very important, and it just taught me to not depend on people, and that I can always have what I want, and I can do what it is that I want to do. And I love that. That's one of the best things that I've taken from my mom. Like, that's just my favorite thing, because it's like my work ethic. Do I think, like I said, it's sometimes too much? Absolutely. It absolutely is too much. But I want to make sure the camera's focusing. Okay. How did I get to this? Setting boundaries. How did I get to this? That good thing, that positive thing that my mom showed me has shown up in my life negatively, because I have, most of the time when I was working, before I had Amir, I prioritize work over everybody. You know how, like, you got them homegirls that prioritize their man over hanging out with you? Like, you could never hang out with them because all they want to do is be up underneath their man. That was me. I just always wanted to be at work all the time, getting all the money. and it wasn't just one job, it was two. Sometimes it was three at one time, then it was two for the whole rest of my life. Like, I've always worked two jobs. I've always worked for somebody else and worked for myself. Now, I could lack accountability right now and say, if my friends would have set more boundaries, I would have hung out with them more. But I'm not gonna do that, because that's not, I mean, they could have set boundaries if they knew to do that, but a lot of us don't know about boundaries unless somebody teaches us about them. And I never knew what boundaries were, right? And I should have set boundaries with myself and said, listen, baby girl, you cannot do this. Like, you have to make time for the people that you love and the people that you want to spend time with. Everything is not about money. And that's why now I say that I don't chase money. I'm chasing my dreams. And that's what I put on my vision board, because chasing money has led me to be lonely. And I can honestly say that. I can honestly now look, and I realized it the other day. I was like, I'm lonely when it comes to friendships. Like, I'm lonely. Do I want friends? Absolutely, I do. And it's not that I don't have any friends. Right now, I'm specifically talking about my friend. I'm talking about older friends. I'm not talking about nobody that's in my life right now. So, because I miss them. I miss some of them. And it's things that I miss about each and every person. But it's like one person out of, I would say, at least the three was just toxic. Was just all out toxic, right? And I just can't. Like, it's not much I can really do with that person. Oh, I'm talking about the three. It's about 4 or 5. But it's just a lot. Like, that person, okay, that was a reason. It was a reason behind that. Then there was another person where it just was like, well, we tried, but basically I just tried to hold them accountable. And I feel like when I tried to hold them accountable, they took it another way. If I have a conversation with you about anything, whether it's about us, it's about something that you did, or it's about my personal business, and I go on social media, and within less than a week or even the next day, you're putting something up, and I know that you're blatantly talking about me, I'm literally gonna unfollow you, because I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna unfollow you. I'm a mute you, whatever, because why? We spoke about something, and why are you taking it to social media to try to take a dig at me? That is not cool, and that's not a friendly thing. Okay? I mean, I'm saying it's not a friendly thing because I don't want to be extreme and say, oh, that's not a friend, because we all get in our feelings sometimes, and we do things that we should not do, and we could handle situations better. So I'm going to say it's not a friendly thing, and it wasn't friendly. So it's just like, that's how I just chose to just distance myself. Do I want to really do that? Absolutely no. I love the person. But what am I going to do? Because I have to protect my peace. You can't be up there just going off on me thinking that I'm not going to feel a certain type of way. That hurt my feelings. Because why you got to be taking it to social media instead of just telling me, hey, I didn't like how you made me feel when you said this and that. And then I could have explained to you that, hey, I'm just trying to hold you accountable. But if accountability is not something that you don't like, if it's not something that if accountability is not something that you like, then I won't do it. And we don't have to talk about those type of things. But I'm just not a person who, like, I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing, and I don't like to lie to my friends. I don't like to lie to anyone, but I really don't like to lie to my friends, because I just feel like, why not just tell you the truth so that you can be your best self? Like, I don't have time for that. And then it's like another situation happened where it was just like being super duper weird. I don't know what happened. We just stopped talking. And once we just stopped talking, I just was like, all right, well, now I can just unfollow you. I don't gotta let you know what's going on. And that's it. Like, but I miss them. Like, I miss them. I do. I miss them. But I'm just like, how do we even move forward? It's never gonna be the same. And I don't even know if it actually shouldn't be the same. It should be boundaries being set. It should be different, but I don't think it would be the same in a good way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want it to be the same in the type of love that we have for each other, and I don't think it's gonna happen. Period. I don't think it's gonna happen. And I'm just like, you gotta just move on. But then I had to start looking at myself too, because when Amir's dad told me, like, oh, you gotta stop saying what people did to you, it started making me feel like, well, do you just cut people off too much? Like, why are you cutting people off like that? Maybe I should have been giving them grace. And if I would have set boundaries, then we wouldn't be in this situation in the first place. But guess what? Like I said, I didn't know anything about boundaries then. So it's like, now I know about boundaries, and now I don't got my friend no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then somebody else did something which I really didn't like, and I feel like they were being very judgy and just doing a lot, like just saying things that was kind of offensive to me. And I just feel like if I was in a different space, I could have spoken to them and told them. And one of the things that they said to me, I did tell them before, and they told me like, yeah, because I was like, that's your own insecurity. And they told me like, yeah, I was wrong for saying that and this and that, and they understood. But it's just like, after that one, I just felt like, when I love you so much and I feel like you have made a difference in my life and I look at you as my family, at this point I just was like, I'm just cutting you off, because who are you? Who are you? Like, that's how I felt. But do I feel now that that was a smart thing to do? I don't think so. I don't think I should have cut them off, because I miss my friends from a long time ago. I do. I'm not gonna lie, I do miss them. But at the same time, it's just like, but why was y'all moving so wonky? Like, I don't get it. And then at the same time, it's like, girl, you gotta give people grace. And that don't mean to, and I think too, I got fed up because in the past, I used to like just give people a lot of chances. And I just think that I got to the point where I got tired of giving people chances. And I was just like, you know what? It's a wrap. It's quiet. It's mute. It's mute for everybody. Like, I just started saying, well, you know what? Forget it. Because I'm tired of giving people chances. Because it was like, I was being so patient. And it's like, I don't really already have a lot of patience. But I have a lot of patience for people that I love. And I just want to be in my life, because I don't know why. I don't know why. But I'm glad that I have a lot of patience, because I feel like you should. I have a lot of patience with certain people. And I feel like you should. Because you shouldn't just make people disposable. But... and that's why I'm so conflicted, because I'm like, dang, I gave people a lot of chances. I gave them a lot of chances. So I don't understand why I feel guilty now. I don't get it. I don't know. I don't get it. And I don't know if I feel guilty per se. I don't know if it's guilt. But it's just like, did you have to do that? You know, like, but yeah, did I have to do it? I don't know. Because do I have to be feeling abused and used? Like, do I have to feel like that? Do I have to just be like, oh, well, my feelings, I gotta put my feelings aside and let this person hurt me all the time? I don't think that's a good thing either. And it's just like, girl, come on. Like, it's too much. How much do you think I could really take? You're hurting my feelings. So, I don't know. But I wish I would have set more boundaries. Boundaries are very, very important. And, you need them, because if you don't, people will do whatever, whenever, and don't even think twice. They will not think about your feelings. And sometimes it's not, most of the time, I think, and maybe that's just me giving people grace. I think that a lot of people don't even realize it. Like, they just be going on about their business, and they're like, oh no, like, this is not a problem. But it's like, no, it is a problem, because you're hurting me. You're hurting me. And I'm sensitive. And you hurting my feelings. How you like? I just thought about somebody else too, but that wasn't me cutting them off, so I don't know what that's about. Anyways, girl, how you be like, as y'all can see, I got problems. And I even asked my mom. I called my mom and I asked her about it, and she was like, no, I understand. And I'm like, she literally said everything I feel, because I just feel like I'm at the point where I want a friend that I can grow old with, like, literally. And I know somebody might think that's dramatic. It's not dramatic, because what people don't realize is that friendships are literally relationships that you're not intimate in. Like, and it's just like, I want somebody that I can grow old with. And it's like, another thing too, like, all of my friends now, like my newer friends, like, they all have best friends. And it's like, my best friends, they going. They gone, baby. They gone. They gone with the wind. And I'm just like, no, I'm not really like crying for them to come back. I'm not. Let me not be dramatic. But I'm really just trying to figure out, was it me? Am I the drama? Because I'm like, I don't understand. And when my mother said the same thing, like, she got exactly what I was saying, and she could relate. I'm like, baby, is it us? And then she gonna say on the phone and say, oh, maybe it is, but I don't even care that much. Oh, well, I do, because I don't want to be alone with my 2 cats. And I don't even like cats. Like, girl, I don't know what's going on with her, but she cannot care what she wants, or say she don't care, but she do care. And it's just like, we gotta figure this out. So I have more work to do because I need to dig deep within myself and figure out, like, okay, why couldn't you just give people more grace back then? I don't know. I don't really know. Like, it's just like, I'm just trying to think, like, was it really necessary to cut everybody off? Like, some people I feel like definitely need to be cut off or just love from a distance. I do. I don't think I made mistakes with that. But I'm just like, everybody, it was a lot of people. It was a lot. I only have one friend that was from, like, when I was a teenager. And she's a mom. And we don't even make time to see each other. So, it's, I don't know. And she's the one that I would always flake on sometimes because I would be working, or I would just work in the same day as we had a date, and then it just would be a bunch of nonsense going on. But it's just like, girl, and then I don't know, it's just a lot. Okay, it's just a lot. And all I'm gonna say is that I should have set boundaries if I would have known. But what happens when you don't know? Like, what do you do? Can somebody give me some advice? What do you do when you didn't know how to set boundaries? Now what? And don't be that person that don't want to set boundaries because you don't want to hurt your friend's feelings. Because best believe your friends will hurt your feelings, baby. And it won't be on purpose. Don't get me. I don't sit here and feel like people do things blatantly, but people will hurt your feelings. People will say no, and be okay with it. And you'll be like, oh, but I always say yes. Well, start saying no. Because one thing about me, I'm saying no now all the time. Like, if I don't like something, I don't like it. And also, if I don't like something that you did, I'm gonna tell you. Okay? I'm gonna tell you, and we're just gonna move accordingly after that. Like, that's it. But yeah, I don't know. Y'all let me know, cause I got some stuff to work on. But if anybody got some advice, like somebody that's mature, that's older than me, or even if you're not older than me, and you have like a good friend or a good friend group, and you have advice on how to deal with other women, then let me know, because I don't feel like I don't know how to deal with women in a sense of like, I don't hurt women. Like, I'm not one of those hurt people who hurt people type of girls. Like, I'm a lover type of girl, like, literally. And I'm a girl's girl. Like, I really love women. But I let people do things over and over and over again. And then when I get tired of them doing it, then I get mad at them. But baby, you allowed it. It's me talking to myself, asking for advice, now I'm talking back. But I'm just trying to figure out too, like I said, like, well, then why is it a space where now I don't like the fact that I cut them off? Or maybe it was okay that I cut them off and I just have to move forward and find somebody who's really for me. Because I'm scared of people. I'm scared of people. I told my therapist that. And I don't even think it's people. I think I'm scared of women. Like, I'm scared of them. You're gonna be like, this girl is crazy. Well, I don't know. I just feel like some women are not nice. And I'm just scared because I just feel like I just want to find a friend that I can grow old with. We could laugh it up. We have our good careers. Even if we don't have careers right now, like we working towards it, whatever the case is. And we just thrive together. We hang out. You come over. I come over sometimes. We just make time for each other. I want a good female friend like that has time for me. And maybe too is because like it's hard. Like, and I'm not saying all the time because we all got lives. Like, I don't have time sometimes for people and for things. But I just want, that's what I do want. And I'm going to put it out there and I'm going to say it. I want a friend who makes time. That's what I want. I want a friend who makes time and that we can just have a good time together. Because I don't be like stressing my friends about it now. Because like I said, they have best friends. And it doesn't mean that we can't, just because they have best friends, that we can't do things together. But you know how like it's just like they just have that person already, like, so they really can't fill the void that I need. They have that person. And it's not to say that you can't have more than one best friend. Like, people can, but I don't know that people want to do that with me. You get what I'm saying? Like, maybe they feel good in that space, and some people are guarded and they have their reasons why, and I'm good. I'm fine with that. So I don't want to try to force nobody to you know, do that for me, but I know the friend that I can be. And you know what too, I have one other thing to say about that topic of friends, of, well, setting boundaries, but I was just talking about in friendships and stuff. I say that I'm like lonely and stuff, which I don't know if I'm actually lonely, but I don't know if I'm lonely. I don't think I'm lonely. I think that was a drag. I think I was reaching, but because I don't feel lonely. I just feel like, I think I'm just used to like being so close to my friends that I had before. And specifically one of them, like my best friend, we were just so close. But at the same time, like I'm saying, like I want to make new friends. I'm scared of people. Like I'm scared. I don't know why I'm so scared. Like I just don't want to let my guard down. Like I want to be friends, but I don't. That sounds crazy, but it is. Cause I'm just scared of, like, I don't know why. We just spoke about expectations earlier, and I always just have high expectations for friends. Cause I just feel like, just be the friend to me that I am to you. Like, is it that hard? Without working all the time, because we don't want to be that friend. Like, I just feel like now that I'm woke and I know like what I was doing wrong, which was not making time, and sometimes I don't show up late. But I don't show up. In the past, I was always not showing up because I always was working so much, so then I would be tired, or I just said, oh no, I gotta work. So I know that already, right? So I feel like that right there completes the puzzle, and I just feel like I would be a better friend because I communicate. I let my friends know how I feel. I'm very like caring. I'm a good listener. Like I listen to my friends, and it's just like, one thing I do remember though, like I would do a lot. My friends would sometimes talk about stuff, and then I would always just be like, oh, this and that. But it's not because I'm trying to make it about me. It's because I can relate. Like I can literally relate. But I still have to get better with that, because I just feel like that could come across as, oh, every time I'm trying to talk to you, you're making it about you. And that's really not what it is. Like, and I'm saying I used to do it, I still do it. So yeah, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I just need, pray for me. Pray for me. Pray for me, because I'm scared. It's like a dating, you know how women out here talking about dating is horrible. That's the same way I feel about making friends. Like I want to make friends, but I'm terrified. Like I do not want to let people in. Like it's like I'll let you in a little bit and then I just draw back. I'm so scared. Like, oh my god, whew, it's a lot. It's a lot, but we're gonna leave it there. Like I said, that number 5. Yeah, number 5 was to set boundaries. Make sure that you are setting boundaries in your friendships, because I will be doing that moving forward. So now to the last thing. The last thing is attracting, just stop attracting people who I have to work on. And my therapist didn't tell me like, oh, I can't be friends with people who need work because we all need work. She didn't say that, but she said that it just seems like I am attracted to people who need a lot of work, and that kind of like need fixing. And it's like I enjoy fixing people because I didn't have somebody to do that for me. You know, like I missed out. And I definitely feel that way. I feel like like I spoke briefly earlier about my mom, right? Like how she was working a lot. And it's like my mom wasn't able to be there for me emotionally and stuff, because she's here available emotionally now, but to a certain extent, because she acts like she don't care about nothing. And I'm just like, what? Until she's going through it, until she feeling it, then that's when she like, oh, this and that. But it's like when I'm saying it, you just like, oh, I don't really care that much. It's like, bro, you do care that much. You do. But it's like she wasn't emotionally available there for me. So I try to be, it's like I try to be what my mother wasn't for me to other people. And it's like, you're not a mom to other people. You're only one person's mom. And before you had him, you were no one's mom. But I've always been, and I'm okay with that, because it just shows me that I have, like, I'm mature. Doesn't mean that I'm mature, I'm wise with when it comes to everything, like super duper wise. I do feel like I am wise, but you know, like casual, you know, like it ain't that deep. Like I'm not like, oh, I'm the wisest person in the room. But like I always was the mother of the friend group, and I don't want to be the mother of the friend group. It's annoying, first of all, because everybody holds you to this high standard, and it also makes you feel like you can't do anything wrong. When you do, they're like, you did that, you know, like, and it's just like, or they'll say things like, oh, like when I was so young, I just think about one of my friends. She was like, oh, well, you're married, so this and that, and I'm just like, I'm not. And we could touch more on that another time, but it's just like, just thinking about how I was just so young doing things that I shouldn't have been doing. Like I needed to live my life and I didn't. And that's why now I think I'm just like, I want to be free. Like, not like, I'm not talking about, like, I'm trying to be outside like with the men's. I'm not trying to do that. But it's just a lot of things now that I want to do alone. But I feel like I want a good girlfriend to do some things with that I don't want to do alone. Because I do want to be alone. I do want alone time. I really enjoy digging deep to find myself. Like, I'm still finding myself. And when I was younger, I really would enjoy being alone, because that's all I could do. I mean, I always did want a sibling. It was so odd because I remember being very, very little and always wanting to be alone, liking to be alone. But then after a while, I did want a sibling, but I got used to not having a sibling. So then I always just, whenever I have friends, I would cling towards them. And maybe that's the only child thing, and that's making me scared for my son, because maybe that's the reason why too I picked the people that I pick. And I'm not saying that anything was wrong with those people or that they were bad people, but I don't want to continue to like choose people who are like projects. And that's what she said. She was like, stop, like, it's just like a project. Like, you got to try to figure this piece out and put this together. And just, it's like, I always got to like help so much. Like, I want to help my friends, yeah, but you don't want to be always having people that feel like baggage, you know? And I'm not saying that everybody that I was friends with was baggage. I'm not saying that at all. But it's just like, some people were. And it's like, why? Like, why do you want to have, it's not even that why. I already did it, right? That's already done. I'm not even worrying about what I did anymore back then. I'm talking about now. I can't do that because I have my own stuff going on. I really do. I have my own stuff going on. So I cannot even take on the weight of anybody else. Like, I can't. I just need us to, like, we're gonna go through things, we could talk about it. Okay, we talk about it and we help each other through it, but not somebody that's trauma dumping on me every day and that's calling me and constantly complaining and don't want to help themselves, but you sitting on the phone, you talking to me about the same things. And it's just like, come on, like, you know? So I'm glad that I learned that. Like, yeah, like, stop trying to. And when she said I'm attracting people that's like that's like a project, she didn't mean like I probably literally am attracting them, and that's not the first person. I'm saying what she didn't mean. She probably didn't mean that. It's like, it don't mean I gotta run away from them like I'm better than them. But my hair teacher told me when I was in cosmetology school, my cosmetology teacher told me one day, if you would stop attracting those people, like, stop attracting people that you always gotta help all the time, or that they always falling short. Like, if you know that person is like that, leave them alone. Like, stop doing that, because that's why you're going through the things you're going through in your friendships. Like, and I didn't really think much into it, but it's like, I like to fix people, and I don't want to be a young to fix my life anymore. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So yeah, that was it. That's all. But I'm grateful for the friendships that I do have now. But like I said, I'm hoping that I do find me a really good friend who's like a sister, who is a sister to me. And yeah, because like I said, did I say it? That when I was a teenager, then I just wanted to be with my best friend all the time. And my dad was like, you need to, you're so like, we were codependent, both of us. Like, we always wanted to be around each other. I basically lived with her, because when I wasn't home, I was at her house. And it's just like, wow. It's just a lot to really take in and think about. But then also, the people that I did attract at the same time, I always needed to help them because they were always going through so much. And it's like, it's nothing wrong with helping people. I love to help people. But sometimes you the one that need help. And I feel like I was always the strong friend. And I'm tired of being that. Like, I don't want to be the strong friend. I just want to be the friend that we both can just help each other. And I can help you, you can help me, but it's not something that's like weighing me down, because I feel like now that's why I can't deal with certain things. Like, if you have just so much going on, I just cannot deal with you like that, because I just feel like I have so much going on. Like, and it's not even that you have so much going on, but you don't want to try to change it. That's what it is. Like, and I it's too much. But that's it, y'all. That's my TED talk for the day. That's my my six what was it? My 6 things that I learned in therapy about myself and just how to deal with people and handle things in situations. Oh, and before I go, let me spray my face. Before I go, I had spoke about something briefly in the beginning when I was saying like a situation or whatever. It's basically someone that I haven't really been speaking to in my family. And I gotta stop. Like, it's time to have a conversation. It's a hard conversation. It's not easy because it has something to do with somebody that's very, very close to me. And I just don't like the way the person handled the situation, so I haven't been speaking to them. But they just text me about something, and I just was like, looked at my phone, I'm like, you know. And then I was like, you gotta stop, because it's just enough is enough. Like, we just spoke about that, right? We just spoke about that. But I just wanted to tell y'all, like, seriously, the grudge holding, like, it has to stop, because it's ridiculous doing all of that and being hurt, and just, it's just too much. Like, time could be spent loving on that person, and even if it's not even that deep, like, it's just no reason to have it being like such a awkward situation, or just holding on to these things, like I said, because you're the one who ends up really hurt. And I think that person is not hurt? No, I don't think that they're not hurt and that they don't care. But I'm sure, I mean, I don't know, I think so, that it's probably hurting me more. And especially too because of who the person was, you know, who the other person was that was caught in the middle. And I just don't like how the situation was handled. I feel like it could have been handled differently. I could have been handled differently with care. And it just was that I didn't expect that from the person at all. I expected way more, because the person has played such a big role in my life. And it just was like, but you've handled things much better before, so why, when it came to this, you wasn't there for me? I don't know, really. I can't say. I don't know. I just feel like certain things some people just feel uncomfortable about, and they just don't know how to approach it, and that's just that. But the specific thing that I'm talking about, one day I will open up about it. I don't know how soon it's gonna be, but I will open up about it, and I hope that I'm able to help a lot of people, because people definitely need whatever resources. They need to know exactly how to go about things, how to do things. I just have a lot of thinking to do about it, because it's a very sensitive thing for me, and I just want to protect the person, because I just need to protect them. And it's just like, yeah. So I do want to speak on it, because I do want to help others, but right now I gotta just handle it within, you know, I gotta handle it myself. I can't right now invite other people in, besides the people who I really trust and stuff like that. But yeah, it's not like a life or death situation, so okay. But I just wanted to let y'all know that just try your best not to hold grudges. I'm working on it every single day. I'm a work in progress, and I think I've spoken about that before already on here, but I'm still working on it, girl. I really am. Hopefully I can build up the courage, and I don't think I'm like scared, but I just think that it's a lot of pride involved right now. I don't even really want to let the person know that I want to have a conversation with them, even though I just said that I need to. But that person literally knows what they did, because I already spoke to someone else about it. So the other person let them know, and it's just like, you know what you did. You know what you did when you did it, actually. But I just feel like it's time for me to sit down and have the conversation with the person, you know, and just really say what I gotta say. I don't expect anything from them. I don't even expect an apology. Like, if you want to, then you can, but if you don't, you don't. But I just really gotta just, you know, like, just say what I gotta say and let them know, because I don't think that, I know that they know what they did, but I don't know if they know the depth of like how I really feel, how they made me feel about how they handled the situation. So yeah, that's just it. And hopefully one day I'll be able to open up to you guys. Not hopefully, but I will one day open up to you guys about the situation. But right now, you know, I let y'all in with that. Please respect my privacy. Don't keep asking me what it is and when I'm gonna talk about it and all that other stuff. But yeah, that's that. And I see that we have some new subscribers here, so hopefully soon I'll be doing a get to know me. Yeah, when we get to 500, because I was gonna do it like at 300, but when we get to 500 subscribers, then that's when we'll do that, and we'll get into some other things. But thank you guys again so much for watching, and I appreciate all of you for allowing me to be vulnerable and open up and just making this a safe space for me. And I'll see you in the next one.